Alright, racers, let's talk about nutrition. If you want to be an excellent swimmer or a successful athlete in any way, shape, or form, you have to pay just as much attention to what you are fueling your body with, as well as what you're putting into your mind, and what you're doing in practice. They all are equal, and so I know it's really easy to go just swing by like fast food places or grab a quick snack at the gas station. Things like that there's time and place for those, but we want to make sure that we are fueling our body like a champion. So let's get started with the different types of food. First of all, I'm getting my nutrition guideline, what I'm going to go over with y'all with this book. It's The Complete Conditioning for Swimming by Dave Salo and Scott Reinwald. If you want to go read, check it out. So, first thing is, I've got some flyers, some notes that I've taken. I will send that out with this video as well. So first thing is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are, most everybody loves carbohydrates. It is what supplies our body with energy. And so the type depends on where we're at in our day, on the type of carbohydrate that we want. And we rank our carbohydrates on the GI index, or the glycemic index. And what this does is measure how quickly a carb is broken down into sugar. So for examples, you can Google this, you can find all the different types of carbs that are out there and where they lie on the GI index. But just for example, the low GI is 55 or less on a range. And that is most fruits, pasta, juices, smoothie, bran cereal, non-fat milk, yogurt, and popcorn. Medium GI is in a range from 56 to 69. Some examples are shredded wheat, pineapple, wheat bread, table sugar, pizza, oatmeal, soft drinks, and honey. Now, some of these are a little better for you than others. We'll talk about that a little bit later too. The high GI is 70 on a scale of 70 plus. These are cornflakes, bagels, baked potato, wheat or white bread, rice, crackers, sports drinks, Cheerios, jelly beans, and pancakes. So the next type of food is protein. Protein, contrary to what a lot of people believe, it provides us with very, very little energy. What it does do is help us build muscle and strength, and it helps us with recovery. And then the last type is fat. Fat supplies us with energy. It helps vitamins also get absorbed into your system. So fats are actually really important. We want to have fat. We just want to have the right type of fat. We want to avoid saturated and trans fat foods like butter, lard, beef, like ribeyes, the real fatty cuts. Those are not good for us, and we want to avoid those at all costs, especially when we're training really hard. We want to focus more on the mono and polysaturated fats, like olive oil, nuts, fish, and you can even get the omega-3 fatty acid supplements. Another good supplement is just to get a good multivitamin. Get a reputable brand containing pharmaceutical-grade vitamins. You also, especially in the bulk, in the hardest time of our season, in the middle of our season when we're training, doing 2-a-days, or we're doing 6,000 plus yards, where your body gets broken down, and it's very easy for your immune system to get weak. So the vitamin B12 supplement that you can put you can put just a drop underneath your tongue is extremely important. It's a good aspect. Okay, so that's the different types of foods, and we're going to keep this pretty simple for you guys. The next thing is we want to make sure that we are eating for performance. And kind of what that means is we might have a certain way we need to eat at the beginning of our season when we're just working on technique. And then we need to have a certain way we eat in the middle of the season, and when we are what to eat before practice, what to eat immediately after practice, things like that. And we call it. And we also have a certain way to eat in taper. We have a certain way to eat at our big swim meets, at our championship swim meets when we have prelims and finals. And so we call that periodization nutritional. This is your guideline. So during practice times, I will add this on here. I don't know if you can see, but right in there I've got, right in here I have your kind of a breakdown, and this is grams per pound. So like during your practice phase, when we're working hard, when your swimmers are working hard, you need to be on the upper end of this scale, and your swimmers are, if they miss a practice or a little bit lower, they need to be on the lower end. So like during that time, your carbs, you need 2.3 to 5.5 grams per pound of body weight. Your protein, you need 0.5 to 0.77 grams per pound. And fat, you need 0.35 to 0.45 grams per pound. And if you notice, there is a big hype about the high protein, low carb diet. Well, I could use that, but swimmers, they don't need that. That is exactly the opposite of what they need, because they're spending so much energy. They need more carbs than they do protein. We cannot eat like they can. They are special. Swimmers get to eat quite a bit more also. So some examples are pre-practice. 1 to 4 hours before practice, you should have, and this, I know we have early swim meets and early practices sometimes in the morning. You're going to have to wake up a little bit early if you want to fuel your body right. So 1 to 4 hours before practice, you need 0.5 to 1.8 grams per pound of body weight of carbs. And this is on the low to medium GI index. We also at this time want to keep our protein at a very minimum. We don't want a lot of protein before we go work out. We also want 12 to 20 ounces of water before we get in the water. We want to drink that much water. We've got to make sure that we are hydrating. So an example of this is 1 packet of oatmeal, 8 ounces of OJ, and an apple. It's about 62 grams of carbs. So just for example, and you can find all kinds of stuff all over the internet. On USA Swimming, they have information on this. So during practice, this is another time that I'm not very good at. I've never really let kids take a break and actually eat something in the middle of practice. But the recommendation is to have 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour of practice. And drink 5 to 10 ounces every 15 to 20 minutes. That's quite a bit. So we need to make sure that they have a big bottle, and we take our time, stop, and make sure everybody is drinking. This is a perfect time for the sports drinks like Gatorade, Powerade, things like that. it provides both the carbs and the water. We need to make sure that we are drinking water on top of the Gatorade as well. Another example of this would be like 2 ounces of pretzels and 20 to 30 ounces of water. So after practice, immediately, as soon as you get up, within 15 minutes, you need to be putting something into your body, especially the carb part. You need 0.5 to 0.7 grams per pound of body weight right after your practice. And then for dinner that night, you need 6 to 20 grams of protein. And you want to still, even after that, you want to eat your dinner within 30 to 40 minutes after you train. I know that's hard for some people, but it is fairly important. Race day. Let's say we are getting up for state, and it's our first morning. We want to treat it just like a practice. We want to wake up about an hour and a half early and go ahead and fuel your body with the carbs that we're talking about earlier of 0.5 to 1.8 grams per pound on the low to moderate GI carb scale. We want to eat foods that contain carbs, sodium, and electrolytes right after warm-ups and in between every single race. So you need to constantly keep fueling. I know some people don't like to eat in between races. It makes them feel heavy, or they don't like feeling full. That's okay. You don't have to eat much, but you do need to fuel a little bit. And you need to do it in between every race. So you need to warm down, go see your coach, go get something to eat, get ready to warm up again, get ready for your next race. So it's a busy day for you. On those days, you want to eat more on the low GI scale. And of course, you want to take lots and lots of fluid. One thing to also consider is on those prelim finals days, we have very busy, it's constant swimming, and then they get a break. They need to make sure they are fueling enough in between, and hydrate plenty in between the morning and afternoon session. So guys, I hope this helps. I will be sending these notes out as well. And yeah guys, thank you. Have a good one.